Hello, everybody. If you're new to the channel, my name's Helen and I'm the designer and blogger behind Sunflower Cottage Crochet. Now, every year for the last 5 years, I believe it is, I've hosted the Preemie Crochet Challenge. Now, this is something that's very close to my heart. My daughter was a preemie. If you follow me, you've heard the story before. You know how it goes. She wasn't exceptionally preemie, but she did have to stay in hospital for a while. She had issues with a suckling and all that sort of thing. And it was a stressful experience. And as a mum, I felt inadequate. She was my first baby and I felt like I was letting her down. I was watching all the other mums come and go with their little precious bundles, sitting there crying because I didn't get to take mine home. So that's why the Preemie Crochet Challenge means so much to me. But of course, I couldn't do it without the fabulous designers that join the event with me and that donate their patterns. Many of them are made from scratch, especially for the event. And they all have at least preemie sizes in there. Some of them, such as my Misty Days blanket, I've got all the sizes. So I've got from preemie all the way up to king size. So it just depends. But at the moment, the link is in the description if you want to check it out. At the moment, lots and lots of the patterns that have been featured so far this month are still free PDF downloads. If you want to join the challenge, you are more than welcome, and you don't have to join this month, but just have an intention. If you take a free PDF to donate at least one of those patterns that you make from that PDF to a charity, a hospital, or a family with a preemie baby near you. So with that being said, today's featured pattern is the gorgeous Spice Bonnet by Priscilla from the Motherlode, and she's going to come on and talk to us about it. So just bear with me a moment and I'll bring Priscilla on. Hello there, sweetheart.
Hello.
Hello. How are you doing today?
I'm well today. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
Excellent. So I guess the first question that I should start with is, other than thank you very much for joining me this year. I think this is the first year we've worked together.
Yes, it is.
Yes. Excellent. So what made you want to join the Preemie Crochet Challenge this year?
So partially timing. I have seen it the last, I actually am pretty sure on your thing, this is maybe the 6th year. Is that what you said? And
yeah.
And so I've seen it every year, probably the last maybe 3 or 4 years. And it's always at the beginning of the school year, which is crazy. I have 4 kids, and but I have been really trying to publish more and design more, and I was like, you know what, I can do this. Plus, I started designing bonnets this year. This is the 3rd bonnet I've designed this year, and they're so fun. So I just was like, oh, you know what, I'll design a bonnet for it. That would be so great. So that was my impetus for joining this year as opposed to previous years. But I did, my 3rd son was not born premature. However, he did have a 5-day NICU stay. When he was born, so actually all of my first child I had to be induced with, but my other 3 came out like lightning. And the 3rd so fast that not all of the fluid was pushed out of his lungs. So he had trouble breathing. They whisked him away. I was at a hospital. I delivered at a hospital that did not have a NICU. So I delivered him at 10 o'clock at night, and then they took him away, and I didn't see him until they discharged me the next morning at like 5 a.m. And I had to go just ride in my car. My husband drove in my car to the other hospital so that I could be with him. And it was rough. It's so hard to have your baby in the NICU like that. And mine wasn't even so difficult because A, it was only 5 days, and B, there was not really like a big fight that he had to undergo. He was really just needing to get the fluid out of his lungs, and that was it. He wasn't having any other problems other than that. But even that was like horrible. And so I just, my heart goes out to all the moms. I have a few friends who did have premature babies, and it is a challenge like no other, for sure. And so to be able to give a pattern that someone can make to give some comfort, um, and a little bit of being able to help foster that connection, because it is hard when you don't just get to cuddle them, like you said. They don't get to just go home with you. So I I particularly think those bonding squares are such an amazing item that you can make to help families. So yeah,
Yeah.
so that's why I'm here this year.
That's
That was a
awesome.
lot.
Well,
Sorry.
that's okay. You gave us a little sneak peek of the bonnet that you've designed for
Oh,
this year's challenge. Would you like to share it with us and tell us a little bit about it? It's so adorable.
yeah. So I love, this is Lion Brand Heartland yarn. It's an acrylic worsted yarn. I think it's so soft and wears well, washes wear. It's one of my favorites. I design several things with it. So really, whatever is your favorite acrylic worsted yarn, I'm sure you could use a nice soft cotton as well if you wanted it to be extra gentle for a preemie. Um, and it has these nice bead stitches. It's an easy construction. It looks kind of complicated, but it's really, you work in back and forth rows here. And then these are actually made in back and forth rows as well, but with decreases to pull it together. And then you're just making a seam on the inside here. And then crochet the neckband in back and forth rows along the bottom. And then I put in the instructions if you didn't want to have the ties. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm not sure if you wanted your baby to be wearing it for actual warmth instead of for being cute. And you didn't want the ties, you could put little pom-poms on the little corners here. Um, that was just a thought I had, that if not, if you didn't want to have the ties in there, especially if you had, lots of things hooked up to them or whatever. So yeah, so that's how the design came to be. I like to make them this way. I think it's a little easier than starting at the crown and going in the round and then working. I just like the way this shapes to their little heads nicely.
Mhm.
Um, I have, my daughter is about to turn 3, and so I always use her as my model. So here's the toddler size. You can see, look how tiny that little preemie size one is.
Yes. She
So,
did
and
such a great job modeling it for you, though.
yes, she does. She likes the camera. Sometimes too much.
Yeah, enjoy it because now mine runs from the camera.
Oh, do they? Yeah. I do. I try to I wasn't concerned about this so much in the past. So I do have a few pictures of my boys' actual faces when they were younger on some of my patterns, but now I only, when I take the photos, I'm very careful that I don't include their actual face in it, just for peace of mind for me and for their future. No, that's just what I personally do. I'm not, no
Yeah.
shade to anyone who does, but that
Mhm.
works. So that sometimes makes it more challenging, that she loves the camera because she's wanting to smile and say, and I'm like, no, I'm going to take it from this angle over here.
Yeah. No, get those full face ones. Just don't publish them.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
Well,
you get
yes, and I do. I've got those for sure. Yeah.
yeah. So, approximately how long would you think it would take somebody who's fairly confident with the stitches to whip up one of those bonnets?
Oh, I mean, I bet if you're really confident with it, this bead stitch is maybe a bit tricky. So I would maybe give a full hour. I think I would give a full hour, just because that bead stitch um, can be a little bit, um, daunting. I think I shouldn't say daunting. It's just not
Sometimes
as
small
not as
throughs don't go quite as
yes,
smoothly as you expect.
exactly. And you want to be able to make them nice and even, so
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I think I'd give myself an hour to make a full little preemie, or maybe even the newborn size. You could what do I have it in as an infant size? I think you could get it in about an hour. Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. And what sizes have you included in the challenge this year?
I have there's a preemie, infant, baby, toddler, child. So there are 5 sizes. So the infant is like a 0 to 6 month, and then the baby is 6 to 12. So there, I think because they are a bonnet and you can tie it, you get a little more leeway with the sizing. And I know, you can make sizing. Um, I have in the past made baby hat patterns where I've made like a 0 to 3, but you know what? They're only going to wear it for those 0 to 3 months then. So I kind of like to make them so that they can get more use out of them if it's a bit longer range. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Um, so. Yeah,
Yeah,
so that's the sizing that's in there. I had a good group of testers for it, and they made some great colors. So I'll share some of those on my social media today. And I know a couple of them did link some Ravelry projects, so people could see it on there too.
excellent.
Yeah.
So if people wanted to have a look at a little bit more about what you offer, where can they find you?
So I I post the most on Instagram. Um, I I enjoy funny crochet reels from time to time, um, and so I'm most active on there. I do have a Facebook that is it's very small though. I do have it and I use it, and I post my Instagram posts to there.
Yeah.
But then I also have a website. That's my blog, and it's www.the-mother-load.com. and
Excellent.
I have a newsletter on there that you can sign up for. I send a newsletter just on Fridays, every Friday, and um I like to include like what's going on in the community. So even though for example, like if there's a crochet along, even if I'm not participating in it, I'll share about it because I want people to support all the designers, and to see what great things are available, because any day of the year you could log on and find a free PDF pattern somewhere in some blog hop or some event. You know what I mean? So and I that's part of what is so great about crochet is how accessible it is.
Mhm.
And that helps with that. So
Yeah.
um
And also how fabulous the crochet community are. I mean, I say it
yeah.
time and time again, the crochet community is one of the most giving, um,
Yes.
selfless communities that you can be part of, and I'm very proud to be part of that.
Yes, me too. I really felt the community love this week because I had some website problems earlier last week, and I knew exactly who to turn to because they're in the one crochet group that I'm in. Everybody talks about this one person, and I was like, well, I guess that's who I got to go to. And yeah, they fixed it in a day. Like,
Excellent.
and so I was like, oh, thank you, community. For knowing where to go for this help, because I wasn't sure I don't know what I would have done if I didn't have that resource.
Yeah. And just if people were wanting to find you on Instagram, I know you're down as Motherlode Crafts
Yes,
on
yes,
Instagram rather than the Motherlode.
yes, correct. Yes. It's so tricky when you start out and everything. You like trying to get all of the things, and I don't know, every probably right around this time of year, every fall, as I get more, publishing more in the fall. It's just kind of the nature of crochet. I think, oh, do I need to change my name? Because I like, do I want it to be, I don't know, something different. I don't know. I kind of really love it though. So being a mother's really like a part of me, and I don't know. I think I'll probably stick with it, even though every fall I get the itch to say, I don't know, something to do with plants or I don't know, something that's less. I
Mm.
don't know. Sometimes I think it's
That only comes around in fall, though.
yes. I don't know. I don't know.
Is that
Yeah,
because you're missing the summer already?
maybe the kids are back in school, and maybe that's part of it. I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Okay. Well, so you can find Priscilla on Motherload Crafts on Instagram or
Mhm.
the-mother-load.com
Yes.
for your website.
Yeah.
And you also have an Instagram page. Do you have a group on, a Facebook page? Do you have a group on Facebook?
You know what? I do have a group on Facebook, but it's like brand new. It's a baby. It's a little
Okay.
baby. I have in the last couple of years, I've started designing here and there some Catholic crochet patterns that can share my faith. And and there's not very many out there. And but I do come across some now and again, especially amigurumi. People like to make like saint dolls,
Yeah.
or like nativity sets or whatever. Um, and so I just started it this week. It is going to be a group for Catholic crochet patterns. I think that's what I called it, Catholic crochet patterns. Um, and I just thought, oh, that would be a nice way. I have seen how having a Facebook group community is just such a great like sharing place, and so that's kind of what I want it to be. Yeah, so that's what I've got.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for being part of the Preemie Crochet Challenge this year. Hopefully it won't be the last.
Yes, I would love to do it again. It's been really great, and it's so fun to see all the patterns every day and share them. And
Mhm.
uh, I need to pick which one I'm going to make.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably a bonding square because I think, like I said earlier, I think those are really special. So
Uh-huh. I think with the bunding squares, for people who aren't familiar with them, they're about 5 inches square. So they're just smaller than a washcloth. And the idea is that you make them in pairs, and then mum wears, or dad wears one close to their skin. So the scent rubs off onto it. And
mhm.
when they can't hold baby, baby is then given that square after a couple of hours once the scent's really on there. To then get used to mum or dad's smell, so that once they are allowed to pick them up and hold them, that bonding process has already started. And I think it's really important for parents as well, because when you can't hold your baby, it can be such a,
Mhm.
I'm trying to think of the words. It's so hard, and you can feel like you're letting your baby down, that you're not
Yeah,
doing enough, and you feel useless, I think is what I'm
right.
trying to say.
Sure.
And the abundance squares really give parents something to do. It's just something little, but at least it feels like they're doing
Right.
something practical to help their baby, and they're
Yeah.
bonding with them at the same time. So those squares are absolutely amazing, and we do have a few of those throughout the challenge. I think we've already had one or two, and some of them are still free
Mm.
PDFs. The other one is free pattern on the blog, but all the links are on the Preemie Crochet Challenge roundup post, which is in the description.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you very much for joining us, Priscilla. It's been
Yes, you're welcome. Thanks for having
absolutely
me.
amazing, and I'm so thrilled that I got to talk to you and get to know you a little bit face to
Yes.
face as well.
Yeah. Yes, you too. It's been great.
Okay. So if you're joining the challenge this year, don't forget to share your makes. Absolutely tag us into them, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Take care.